Hello, hello. Welcome to my space. I hope you are doing well. So, we will immediately get into a reading. I'm excited. I have a new oracle deck. I checked it yesterday when it arrived, and I think it's an interesting one. So, we will see what comes out. So, I hope everything is good with you, that your week is going good. So, let's see, let's get into it. Let's get 9 cards. Right now I'm using it in the upright position. But if a card is turning, it is turning, so I will take it away. The Tower. Wow, we are starting strong. And then the shadow figure in reverse. Okay. The shadow figure, it is written, it is talking about parts of self that are being rejected or feared. So, considering that it's in the second position, we might be thinking that somebody might have thought that you were not being real, that you were acting from a place of fear, that you were delusional about yourself, something like that. And it's in reverse, right? The lost child here. We are talking about vulnerability, somebody who cannot, who is not healed, right? They are not being kind because they are acting from a place of hurt. The dragon's liar. Wow, we already know it. Starting with the Tower, we already know that this will be an intense one. Okay, somebody is not fearing their face. The magic mirror, even though it turned, I'm turning it in the direction of the clock, and so it is in the upright. Somebody is avoiding some kind of truth. The bridge. I love that. I love that. Let's see, 3 more. The invisible cloak. Ooh, again, there are 2 cards here in this deck with the mirror, and both of them came out. So I kind of feel that we have a lot of projections here. Somebody misjudging you. There is a Tower here, right? So it kind of feels that the person might be going through some kind of Tower, awakening to the fact that they might have been projecting a lot here. Okay, so listen, with this invisible cloak, at the end of the day, you know, it's the basic of kind of the psychological behavior. Somebody is hiding parts of themselves, right? And so we are talking here about somebody who is unaware, totally unaware. So they have projected it unaware. So they have projected all kind of things on you, which were not true. With the dragon's lair, it's written, what fear do you need to face head on? What treasure lies behind it? This is in the 4th position, which is the foundation, the stability. So this is where this instability is coming from. We might be talking about you. We might not be talking about you. We might be talking about somebody else, right? So if you are going through a Tower moment, so a total destruction, there is here something talking about isolation or feeling trapped. So I'm sharing it with you. Because even though it's a Tower, and so I relate it to the Tower that you know, that we know in the Tarot, right? Card number 16. But even though there is some kind of text here, what is keeping you in this place and how might you climb down? Okay, with the high place and climb down, I kind of feel that we might also be talking about somebody who might be a little bit arrogant because they are coming from this high place. They are feeling trapped in some kind of something, an emotional wound maybe, and they are trying to numb it. This is kind of what I feel, but it is a tower. For me, I see the tower, there is a downfall, right? So, as said, there is a lot of projection. We have the magic mirror. Somebody was trying to avoid some kind of truth about themselves. And so they were projecting on you. They are the words honesty and compassion on this card. We are in the fifth position. This is the path shift, the test, the change that needed to occur. So, you know, when somebody is avoiding their feelings, very often they become stiff, right? We are supposed to be soft. And in order to maintain this softness, sometimes we need to distance ourselves of people who are not soft. So, you know, when you are soft with yourself, you are also soft with the world. And then just imagine, you know, imagine a pillow. When something falls on a pillow, it is soft, right? It doesn't mean that there is nothing falling, but it is received in a soft way, so you live better with yourself, and also this is what you are projecting to the world. This is why the inner dialogue is so important. The way that you are talking to yourself is so important, right? I talk already in a reading about that, the importance of the inner dialogue. Check your inner dialogue. Check what you have inherited from other people that you need to get rid of, because if not, we have on the opposite side, I kind of see it like something, you know, I see something metallic, very, very cold. So imagine now, I'm taking like a pen, a pencil, doesn't matter, whatever, right? Here, if this falls on a pillow, it's soft, even the noise. Imagine here that it is something in cold iron, it falls, it's much more, it's harder, right? It's harder, it moves a different way. So I kind of feel here with the honesty and the compassion, this is what this person needs to do. And because they are not doing it with themselves, the way that they are acting towards the world is also the same way. We have the bridge here. This is a transition. And it's beautiful because this is what must be done. There is some kind of transition that needs to happen. The invisible cloak, are you hiding from something or someone? What would happen if you allow yourself to be fully seen? Then the mirror's answer, this here is in the eighth position. The eighth position, the infinite sign, what goes around comes around, the karma, the place of karma. So here at the end of the day, you might have been a mirror to somebody else. I will take the story this way, but if it talks about you are the somebody else, so just apply it however. But how I kind of feel here to talk about it, it is that you might have been, here, a mirror to somebody who was trying to avoid something. They were projecting. I kind of feel that this avoidance didn't come from a conscious place, right? It doesn't change the destruction that they are causing, obviously, especially if they are so stoned into their beliefs and they don't even want to question themselves. But I kind of feel here that there is something that you have reflected on them that maybe they didn't want to see, but they were forced to see, right? I'm saying this because we are in the eighth place. So it's kind of karma. And karma is not positive or negative. It's neutral. It's the consequences of your actions. So they projected on you. You might have stayed very, very much aligned, right? And so this might have forced these people in seeing something that they might have been avoiding. The invisible cloak is in the seventh position, which is the position of growth and healing. So you might have truly showed to this person something that they didn't see about themselves. We have the unfinished story here, ending with the unfinished story. So I kind of feel that the energy that we are into, someone's tower failed, there is a destruction in their life. There is this transition from projection, total projection, to starting to maybe see some kind of parts of themselves, but this is where they are, right? It's incomplete right now. We might also be talking about someone with who the story was unfinished, so unfinished, no closure. But you might still give a closure, you know? By the way, if you are waiting for a closure from somebody else, just to be clear, some people will never give you closure, either because they are cowards or because they don't want to give you closure, because closure is closing the book and they don't want the book to be closed. For example, narcissistic people. This is what they are doing. And so, somebody not giving you a closure, it is a closure by itself, right? You might feel obsessively that you need to get some kind of answers. I absolutely and totally feel you, but you can also consider the lack of closure as an answer, right? So, this being said, let's get into deeper here. Let's get a little bit more information. I kind of feel like using this deck. So this is what I am going to use. Just a reminder. I'm thinking, do I want to use this deck? Yeah. A reminder that this is a collective reading, which means that it is a group reading, which means that it might be for you, it might be partly for you, and it might not be for you. So please take what resonates, leave the rest. Don't take on yourself a story that is not yours. If I am talking about masculines or feminines, I'm not especially talking about the gender. I'm talking about the energy from where someone is operating. So please apply it however it applies to the roles in your life. And this can be past, present, or future. So let's see what is going on here. The King of Cups, an emotional manipulator. Wait, okay, all the cards are in the upright, so I can put them all like this. It doesn't matter. Okay. It's amazing because in the second position, right, we have the card in reverse, the shadow figure. So it's truly like, this is the place of relationship, partnership. I know that I repeat myself, but there are people that just arrived, so they don't know, right? So relationship, partnerships, family, it's the connection between people, right? We're in the number 2. So it's the only card that is in reverse. So it's truly, and it's written, what part of yourself do you reject or fear? So this is what they projected onto you. And it's in reverse. It's backfiring. We have a lot of backfiring here, right? With the mirrors. And as said, yesterday I played with the deck a little bit. It's a new deck. I wanted to have a feel for it. There are only 2 images in the whole deck with the mirror on it. And both cards are here. Both cards are here. Okay, so King of Cups. We are talking here about an emotional manipulator. And the Hierophant. The Hierophant. So, what happened here? It is that you stayed in your alignment, right? You stayed in your alignment, and this is at the end of the day how the mirror reflects back to someone. I wrote once a phrase, I made a quote about that, and it was something like, don't dress yourself up with other people's judgments, all those kind of things. It was on my Instagram page where I'm helping people dealing with smear campaigns, all those kind of things, right? And so I explained that at the end of the day, why does the smear campaign fall, right? It only falls if you don't absorb the lies that are told about you, right? If you stay in alignment with yourself, right? Then the mirror sending something to you, trying to transform your image, it is not transforming. It's just sending back the mirror. If you absorb what is done to you, what is told about you, then you become what this mirror is sending to you, right? So this is why it's so important to stay in alignment. With the Hierophant here, this is kind of what I feel. There was somebody trying to emotionally manipulate you in some kind of way, but you maintained yourself, you maintained your direction, your morality, your ethics, your values. You stayed who you are. It's interesting also. We have here the letter. It's a Vav. It also looks a little bit like a 7, right? But we have this line here, this straight line. This is a Hebrew letter, by the way. And we have the Taurus element talking about values. So just let me see if you can see all the cards. You absolutely can. Okay, let's get a little bit more information here. So what created the tower? In fact, it is you staying in alignment with yourself. Or if you were the one projecting on somebody else, you couldn't avoid but see the reality, right? Because the person stayed be themselves. So you could project on them whatever light you wanted. At the end of the day, they stay the same. So at a certain moment, there is no other choice but to see the truth for what it is, right? Because there's a misalignment between what is projected and the reality that is showing itself. So tell me more here, please, about this tower. So interesting. Okay, so we have the 5 of Swords in reverse. This is winning at all cost, right? The person cannot win at all cost. It's not possible. Whatever story they were telling to others or to themselves, it's not working. It's not working. It's not. 5 of Swords in reverse. The Star, yeah, they were painting you maybe as somebody lost, somebody unhealed, somebody who has no direction in life. They might have said that you are not doing anything with your life, that you are losing your life, that all those kind of things. This is what they projected, right? You are a loser. Yeah. But we have here the aha moment. So somebody has awakened to the truth. Okay. I want to know here about this shadow figure in the reverse, if we can get a little bit more information about what they said, but I kind of feel that we understand already what they said about you. Tell me something more about this shadow figure. There was an intention. Yeah. You showed yourself as who you are. You stayed in alignment with yourself. We have the Lovers here. The Lover is talking about the choices, making the right choices, choosing beauty over destruction, right? So you might have looked at your future instead of even, you might, have carried the weight of the projections that were made on you. So this might have somehow weighted you down, but you still looked at your future. You still looked into healing. This was the direction. It was not like getting deeper and deeper into whatever they were sending to you. You were trying to get out of it, right? Making the right choices here, the choices of alignment. And at the end, this is their downfall. We have The Nine of Swords here. This is what is doing today that they are so stressed out, because you didn't change. The mirror that you are giving to the world is still who you are. At the end of the day, you know, you might have been someone that has been very misunderstood, very unseen, a lot of projections, a lot of all those kind of things, right? So imagine people lying about you all the time, projecting on you all kind of things, right? At the end of the day, even though it's very painful, but the more people are projecting things about you that are not true, the more lies I put on you. So in the beginning, of course, people might believe the lies, and so they are looking at you through the lens of those lies. And so it is filtering what they are interpreting as the truth. So it takes time, but at a certain moment, the more lies are told about you, the more the reality will hit them, right? So now they are stressed out. They are in anguish, right? Because now they realize that they are the lost ones, right? So they feel very vulnerable right now. In this situation here, I know that we saw a lot in readings, people who intentionally projected on you, right? The smear campaign was very intentional. A smear campaign is always intentional, but like they needed people to believe some kind of lies about you in order to protect themselves, in order to isolate you, coming from a place of revenge, coming from a place of controlling a situation, coming from a place that they didn't want people to believe you, so they needed people to think that you are mentally unstable, too sensitive. So if you would talk about the experience that you dealt with them, people wouldn't listen to you, right? Here, I kind of feel that we might be talking truly about a person that maybe has heard things about you, that has believed things about you, and it was not, they didn't intentionally lie on you, right? They are still going through a tower. They are going through an awakening. I take the tower here, especially it's also in the setting, right? And we have all the mirrors, and we have the unfinished story, we have the bridge, all of this, the lost child. So all of this is telling me here that truly we are talking about someone who is awakening suddenly to some kind of truth about themselves through you. You have allowed them, by just staying in alignment with who you are, with not becoming the reflection of the lies. Hope it makes sense. They have awakened. There is something there that now we might be talking about someone who absolutely didn't realize that they needed healing. Somebody who was totally unaware. They were totally part of the matrix, living their life, never thinking even about this. You know, some people, they never think about it. So I kind of feel here that this might be the case. Someone who is awakening to the fact that they should question their own perception, they should question their own beliefs. They might now read a lot and try to understand themselves. This is truly what I feel here. Tell me more here about the lost child. Yeah, you see? Beautiful. The world in reverse, right? Somebody who was not learning the lesson, they were stuck in a cycle. So they were going in experiences, one after the other, repeating itself. You know, it's like a person that is always dealing with the same situation over and over and over again, meeting all the time the same kind of people, wondering what the hell is going on here, but they never did the healing work. And this is why the situation, they never learned the lessons, right? So this is exactly what we have here, and we have the sun. So now they can see it. The sun is about being able to see. So now they know. Now there is awareness. And I kind of truly feel here that it is very, very new to this person. It's like a person that was sleeping for years and years and years, and then suddenly they are awakened to someone, to something. There is the aha moment here. Suddenly, there is this. I kind of feel that it's a whole new world, right? That is opening. So, let's see about this dragon. Tell me about the dragon. What is this fear that they need to face? Okay. Competition. Fighting. People getting away. I need more information here. I need more information here. It's not clear enough. What is this fear that they need to face? Tell me, what is the fear that they need to face? People, judgments, moving forward, self-love. Okay, so listen, I kind of feel that we have here someone who is coming from a fear of abandonment. Fear of abandonment. As soon as there is some kind of conflict in a connection relationship, immediately they are afraid to be abandoned, and this is why they are trying to avoid conflicts. They might be people pleasing, they might be overcompensating, right? Yeah, I can totally relate to that. Me in my past, because I grew up with a parent that was loving me conditionally, right? I absolutely had that. I thought that if it was either I needed to accept people how they are, or I need to get away because there is no other choice. Because if I tell them anything, I will pay the price, right? My parent didn't get out of the house or push me out of the house, but at the end of the day, there were consequences, right? If I didn't do, if I wasn't the person that I was supposed to be, or if I was some kind of burden in some kind of way, I knew that there would be consequences, emotional consequences, right? So I kind of feel here that this is what we are dealing with. Somebody who has a fear of abandonment. They might have felt growing up that they were a burden. And so instead of being able to communicate when something is wrong, and even if the person is not willing to receive whatever they are saying, because they try so hard to avoid being abandoned, they would accept things that they shouldn't, right? Because it's very important to be able to say to somebody, listen, I don't like that, can we work on that, can we do things differently, could you not do that, right? And the most important part at the end, it is their answer. It is the answer. And sometimes, the answer, if this person decides to leave, so maybe it's not such a bad thing. But somebody who is in this fear of abandonment, they would do anything in order to maintain this kind of to maintain the relationships they have, because very often also those people, they are afraid to involve themselves emotionally in a new relationship because of this fear of abandonment. They don't want to trigger it. So the relationships that they have, they try to preserve it no matter what, right? And then there is the other thing that is at the end blocking them. It is that they don't want to have new relationships because they are also afraid that if they will get attached, they will be rejected. So it's like a vicious circle, right? A vicious cycle. Okay, so this is the fear here. Okay, but how does this relate to you? I don't know. Tell me more here, please. The magic mirror. The magic mirror. The magic mirror, it is that you are pure and innocent, right? The Three of Wands in reverse. They were waiting for you to come back and you didn't. They didn't want to wait for you to come back. Ten of Wands. Yes. Yes, yes. Okay. It's exactly that. It is somebody here that if you were dealing with this person, right? You were dealing with someone who was projecting on you all kind of bad things. You know what I kind of feel? You know? It is like if someone that has a fear of abandonment, and so their protection, it is not to attach themselves emotionally to anyone, right? And so they might have liked you. And so they were fighting, in fact, against their own feelings. They didn't want to get attached to you, but maybe you are so attachable that they couldn't avoid it, right? At the end of the day, this person needs to heal their attachment wound, right? Because the way that they are attaching themselves to people is the problem. This is the issue. It's not the issue that what is happening afterwards in the relationship. It all comes from their way of attaching themselves to people. This is what they need to heal, right? But at the end of the day, they were not there, right? They were not even aware of what was going on. But what I feel here, it is, like somebody who decided they don't want to fall in love anymore. It's over. They don't want it. And then they fall in love with you. And they are so afraid. They don't want that. And so they are truly projecting on you all the worst thing possible in order not to fall in love with you. When in fact they are already in love with you, and this is why they are trying to convince themselves, in fact. You understand what I mean? They are trying to convince themselves because it's a burden. It's a burden because what they envision with you, it was a future. It was like if, their heart was speaking to them. They had visions in their mind of being together with you, and they didn't want that. They wanted to destroy those. So it's like if in their inner narrative, every time that there was some kind of emotions coming when they were thinking of you, when they saw you, all those kind of things, right? Instead of doing something about that, their fear of attachment came up. And so what they did was projecting on you the worst things possible. And now they are going through a tower because they cannot avoid the truth. And the truth is that you are who their heart saw, right? Their heart was not wrong. It was their mind, their fears, their past that was wrong. And so they cannot deny it anymore because everything that they projected on you is in fact just a production of their own fears, their own defenses. It's a defensive mechanism, right? So now they are on this bridge, realizing, in fact, that they were blinding themselves. We have the This person here is totally covered, right? They cannot see anything. Can you see that? They cannot see anything. They are blind. Yeah. Okay, what else do I want to know here? Tell me about the bridge. Four of Pentacles, yeah. The Four of Pentacles, it truly talks about the attachment. It's being truly attached. The image that we have in the classic tarot, the Rider-Waite, right? The classic tarot, it is truly, we see somebody who is attached to Four Pentacles and they don't want to let it go, right? So this is the attachment. And this attachment is creating so much instability inside of them because they are fighting this attachment all the time. So this person, there is this need of love, loving, being loved. They need it terribly, right? Because the attachment wound come from the fact that they had a problematic attachment with their mothers, with a parent, with something like that, right? There is something in the early childhood here. So they desperately need this attachment. We are human, we are social beings, right? But at the end of the day, it creates a lot of imbalance because they are fighting against it instead of healing it. But I kind of feel now with those mirrors that there is some kind of awakening here. They realize that the issue comes from them, right? But they might be at the stage like, why did I think all those things about this person? Why? Okay, tell me more here, please. The invisible cloak. Yeah, you see the judgments. Yeah. Our dear Queen of Pentacles in reverse is here. So they were wanting to maintain some kind of superficiality. They didn't want to get into deep connection. It was all they wanted, the conditional love, right? They accepted, I will tell you, it's a little bit different because in fact, we are talking here about someone who accepted that love is conditional. That because they were coming from a place of trying to numb themselves, don't feel anything, right? They don't want to be emotionally attached to anyone because it is too painful, obviously, because there is a wound there. So it is too painful. And so they were truly in a place of emotional numbness that I guess that you have awakened, you know. There is the flame that came back to life, something that they thought that they could totally numb and was not existent. And so they were maintaining very superficial relationships, conditional relationship, because they accepted that this is how it works. So I will only give if I see that you are giving the same, right? And you, being maybe somebody very emotional, not in those calculations, not in this superficiality, you might be in truly in search for a real partner, something deep. Here, like it was uninteresting for you, in fact, totally uninteresting. Yeah, uninteresting. And for this person that might have felt their hearts open, maybe for the first time since a lot of time, they might have felt even this rejection wound, this attachment wound, very, very, very deep, very deep. Because they were still trying to operate from a numb place, when you are not numb, right? I truly feel here that you lit the candle again in somebody, but they were still in their mind. Their mind was blocking their heart space, and so they were operating still in the way that they were operating before, and you could feel it. There was something there that you could feel, right? Judgment. The card was turning, but I will take it this way because I turn it clockwise. Judgment card here. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. The mirror's answer. I need another one here. We have the Empress in reverse, the Ten of Cups in reverse. And they truly wanted to see you as a karmic. They wanted to see you. The Knight of Swords in reverse. Yeah, you see? They listen. They were so much fighting against their own hearts that they have not just, tried to fight against their own heart inside of them. They spend their time making up stories and lies about you. At the end of the day, they have manipulated themselves. They have manipulated themselves, right? We are talking here about someone who has totally abandoned the idea of reaching happiness, right? And we might even have here someone, maybe a mother, that have said something, right? A toxic mother, a mother that is not in a toxic mother. I want to, the Empress is in reverse here, so it's a toxic feminine energy. It might also be a father at the end of the day, but that their relationship to the femininity, to the way that they're seeing women, are very effed up, right? Kind of feel that we might be talking about a parent. Doesn't have to be a mother. This is because we have the Empress here, but somehow because the lost child, because of all the story here, it's kind of obvious that there is some kind of issue with the parents there, the relationship with the parents. So it doesn't have to be both parents, it might be between the parents, but there is here something. So I truly feel that it's either the mother that is like very unhealed, maybe emotionally mature. I don't feel neglecting, because it wouldn't give this kind of psychological profile. No, it might be an overbearing mother. It might be a mother who maybe the father was not present, might be divorced, or might be just not present. And so the child became kind of the partner in some kind of way. It might be also a narcissistic parent. It might be the dynamic of the two parents. Something like that, right? But I kind of feel that there is here something about the family structure that is a problem. And at the end of the day, this person has truly gaslit themselves. They have manipulated themselves in order to try to protect themselves of their own feelings. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's see the unfinished story here. You don't want to give me the unfinished story? King of Pentacles, Temperance. At the end of the day, I kind of feel that this person is still watching you in some kind of way, right? Because they see you as a sign of stability. with the King of Pentacles, at the end of the day, we might be with the most accomplished person of all the pips card, the minor arcana in the deck, right? Because this is the ultimate manifestation. The King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles in the upright, right? Why? Because with the Pentacles, we are in the manifestation. We are, if we are looking at the tree of life of the Kabbalah, right? So the ultimate, like we are starting with an ID, we are with the fire element, and then it's going towards the emotional, the water element, and then it's going through the mind. You know, how do you realize this ID? So this is the air element, and at the end we have the manifestation, and this is the Pentacles. So the King and the Queen of Pentacles, at the end of the day, this is the ultimate human being. It is the true success, because even though we are with the Pentacles, this is not somebody where money is their god. It's not. It is somebody who has been totally able to manifest themselves in the best way possible. We are with an ultimate leader, very stable. It is somebody very, very stable. So I kind of feel here that you truly represent somehow for this person, while they were trying to paint you in the worst way possible, right? They were trying to paint you like the lowest of the lowest. But at the end of the day, they are seeing you now maybe as the most stable person that they have ever met. And then we have the Temperance, we have the Earth Angel, first of all. So you might carry this Earth Angel energy, right? And you see, I'm thinking here with those cards that you are truly an inspiration for the person, right? It's interesting. When I was talking to you about the tree of life, right? So here is the fire element. This is the tree of life. This is the fire element. Here is the water element. Here is the air element. And this is the Pentacles. This is the manifestation. This is the earth element, right? So I kind of feel that you are truly an inspiration for this person now. They see you as, maybe I said, this earth angel and energy, right? And stability, patience, alchemizing. You are able to alchemize anything and everything. Yeah, so I kind of feel that you are an inspiration now for this person as, something to look towards. Let's go to closure. This was interesting. I like those cards. Let me know what you think about them. Tell me. Closure. Page of Wands in reverse. I like it. Closure. Ten of Pentacles in reverse. I like it, the Page of Wands in reverse here. It is because they are now questioning their whole belief system. And this is very important. It's very important. It's very important to question your beliefs. Because when when somebody is very wounded, right? So a way for somebody who is wounded to feel secure, which when you are wounded, what you need more than anything is security, what your mind will do is put people in boxes. It's being very, very, very judgmental. Why? Because it makes you feel safe when you know what you can deal with. It is, once again, it is a defense mechanism, right? But when you are putting people into boxes and judging the situations very, very quick and coming from a wounded place, your judgments are totally false. Also, if you are wounded, for example, from your childhood, the beliefs that you have about the way that you need to live your life, who you are supposed to be, who people are. All of this might be lies. It might be very bad beliefs, right? We are talking about parents that apparently might have been unhealed themselves. So whatever they have given you, taught you, it might not mean anything, but you have absorbed it. Obviously, it's your parents. So you trust your parents. You listen to your parents. They are an example for you, wanting or not, at least in the first years of your life. And until what happened until you were 5 years old, you just absorbed. You just absorbed. You don't even remember what you absorbed. But you did, you absorbed. So it's very, very important to question yourself. And here it is truly what I feel that we have with the Page of Wands in reverse, right? There is some kind, this is talking about a aha moment, it can talk about a message. So now they are rejecting the old messages. And which messages? The messages that they received from the family, the community. This is talking about the legacy. The Ten of Pentacles is talking about the legacy. They are questioning their legacy. They don't believe anymore in everything that they believed into before. They are in this stage now where I kind of feel that what they are doing, it is rereading the book. Rereading the book. Right? And you see how some things here are covered. Can you see that it's covered? They are covering parts because they understand that those parts are not true. Those are false beliefs. So I kind of feel here, right, that you might have dealt with a weird situation with someone. I kind of feel that we might be talking about a romantic relationship, obviously. Somebody that might not have been very clear, that they might have left you without any kind of closure. Something like that, you know. So if it's the case, I hope that this might have given you some answers, maybe some understanding, things that you might have felt but you couldn't put your finger on it. What was that, right? So I hope that this might have given you some kind of insights regarding that. Answering the question, why are all those things coming up? Because the collective, we are very present in other people's energy, in their thoughts, in their energy, and this is why it is coming up. But at the end of the day, if you are part of the collective, if you carry the Earth Angel energy, you know that one of the reasons you are down here, it is that you will be challenged, but you need to stay in alignment because you are representing the highest here. You are representing something different than what the matrix is putting everyone into, right? You are here in order to inspire other people simply by you living your life as who you are supposed to be, your own soul, right? So this is why, and a lot of people are lost right now. We know that. We are in a transitional phase. We are also in a year one, the year of individuality, the year of the seed. So people are building their seed. And we know that there is a lot of people who got lost for many, many years. They were in the matrix and they realized that at the end of the day, they just exhausted themselves, right? They are not happy. They are searching for something different. And they are looking around, and at the end of the day, even if many of the collective, we might be in hermit mode, in protection, in all those kind of things, we are the happy ones, right? So they are looking at us, and they are looking at us maybe in order to learn some kind of something, right? Because we did things differently. And so this is why all those readings come up. I don't feel like it will especially stop in the following months, right? I don't feel that it will stop because people are truly in the, first of all, the season, right? We are in the closed season. Look at nature. It's closed. And also we are in a year one. This is the seed that is people working on themselves, with themselves. So this is why it comes up. And as said, if you don't want to hear it, I kind of feel that you better get out of authentic readers, right? because I kind of feel that this might be all that we are getting, even though we all would like to have different things. But I kind of feel that right now this is what is happening. So, you might not care about this person at all, right? So if it's the case, I don't know why you got this reading. But you might feel them in your energy. You might think about them and you don't understand why. This might be the reason. Here it's truly not coming from a bad place. It is somebody truly who has awakened to something thanks to you. Thanks to who you are. You didn't have to do anything. It's who you are, right? So I will leave it here. I'll see you in the comments. Until very, very soon. Bye.